In the bottom of the ninth, when we were about to win the World Series, Joe Davis was, one of the lines he said was, in the 63rd year of the franchise, 52 years in Texas, right?
Yes.
Something that I've gotten into like arguments with other sports fans about. Do you get to claim the history?
Wait, you're talking about this World Series?
Yeah.
2023?
What did I say?
I don't know. I don't know why I thought you were taking us back to 2011.
Oh, no.
The actual World Series win.
My bad.
What 2011 World Series? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember that.
Yes.
Nose starts bleeding.
Yeah, right. Oh, gosh. Do you get to claim the history of your franchise if it was in a previous city? And this is kind of a relevant topic in the sense that the A's are going through this right now.
Right.
And sometimes honestly, the answer is it could go either way, and it has gone either way throughout history. But, people have gotten upset and said, like, oh, he said 63 years of the franchise. There's been no fan in Texas that waited 63 years for a World Series championship. And it was like, okay, maybe, there wasn't anybody that was a Washington Senators fan in Arlington from day one. But you got dudes like Matt Hicks, grew up a Senators fan and is one of our Rangers broadcasters. You've got guys like Tom Grieve, who were in the Senators organization and came to Texas. So, to a degree, yes, you do get to claim that as part of your franchise's history.
Yeah, it's not even a question of possibility. It's plausible, 100%.
Yeah.
There are for sure fans who have waited 63 years tied to this organization from Washington to Texas.
Yeah,
absolutely, there have been.
Also steers to one of my favorite trivia questions. If you like, when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm a diehard Rangers fan," I'm like, "Okay, who was the first manager in franchise history?" And they're like, "Ted Williams." And we're just like, "Franchise history," and they're like, "Ooh, it's Mickey Vernon."
I'm glad you cleared that up because I was going to ask you.
I know everybody was dying to know who was the first manager of the expansion.
Sounds like an old school gangster. Yeah, it's Mickey Vernon, see?
Mickey Vernon, see?
It's Clayton's for you when Vernon's around.
With our franchise in particular, we do claim the entire history going back to 1961.
Makes sense for us.
It makes sense, yeah. Then you've got teams out there where it doesn't work that way. Not necessarily in baseball that I can think of. I don't believe it's happened in baseball, but there's a golden example in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
So when Art Modell, I think is who it was, right? Was it Art Modell?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So when he left in the middle of the night and took the franchise to Baltimore, which is kind of wild because the Colts left Baltimore in the middle of the night. But anyway,
yeah.
Part of the agreement was, hey, you can't take any of it. And you could take the personnel, you could take the front office, the players, all of that, but you can't take the history. So essentially the Ravens were a expansion franchise. And if you look up the Ravens, Wikipedia, it will say established 1996 and not, 1930 something or whatever.
Right.
So in that situation, yes, the Browns, they just get to say, hey, we took like 5 years off for whatever reason, but we came back. Yeah. It was just...
yeah.
Are there any other examples of that? That's the only one I could think of.
So there is
where a team just abandons their previous.
There's one that is kind of ongoing. The Arizona Coyotes.
Oh,
so
that's a good, yeah.
They struck the Cleveland Browns deal.
That is a hockey team for all you non-hockey fans out there. Previously, the Phoenix Coyotes, because they did move. They moved a few years ago, and now they're gone.
The whole franchise.
Yeah.
So what they did,
correct?
They so it's wild. They essentially moved. They moved to Salt Lake City, and now they're the Salt Lake City or the Utah Hockey Club right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've officially chosen their name yet. I know they've narrowed it down. And they were going to do like the Utah Yeti, but the Yeti Corp got a little upset about that. But if Arizona is able to figure out a situation with the arena and get a legitimate arena, because they were playing in a university's arena that sat like, I think, less than 10,000. It might have been even like 5,000 for like a good several years. They were doing that, and that's how they ended up in Utah to begin with. But if they're able to bring a franchise back to Arizona, it will be the Arizona Coyotes, and they will adopt the history and whatnot. So they've paused that franchise. So that's an example of one that could happen, but it's not set in stone because nobody's really committed to bringing the Coyotes back 100%.
Gotcha.
In the NBA, we always want to have maybe even a third iteration of this conclusion somehow, where we bring a team back to Seattle, and they are the Supersonics,
Yes,
but it's an upstart Sonics, and it's not attached to the previous franchise in Oklahoma City.
That would kind of be like us, the Rangers, because that's what the Senators were going to do. Is when the Minnesota Twins moved from Washington to Minnesota. And
Washington got another team, right?
Yeah, immediately. So there was no break. It was just the next season. The Senators were still there, but it was an expansion franchise, and they didn't claim the history. And we don't, we don't say we won the World Series in 1924 or anything like that. The Twins claim that one,
right?
So that is kind of
so
close to home.
Yeah, what would happen? Because I imagine, does Oklahoma City, do they claim Supersonics past?
They do.
Then yeah,
the Sonics never won though, right?
I think they did.
I know they came. They were like. Did they lose to the Bulls one time?
In the 70s, though, I'm pretty sure
did they get one?
Sonics won something.
I'm checking. I'm checking.
I know
here.
the Trailblazers did,
but I did look up your Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah.
Right now, it's between they've got it down to 3 now. Finally,
are any of them good?
So long. Yeah.
Okay.
One of them is to keep the hockey club. The second one is Mammoth.
Okay.
Which I like that one. I've seen some art on that one, and it looks cool. And then the third one is Outlaws. Which that one's fine as well.
Outlaws feels like AAA.
Yeah, Mammoth is the coolest one.
I could roll with Mammoth.
Yeah,
another one of those singular team names, which is always interesting when it happens.
Won their only championship in 1979.
So they did win one.
Yes.
So
who the hell was on that team? Was Walton on that team? No, that's not.
So yeah, if you go to the OKC Thunder Wikipedia page, it does say one championship 1979.
Wow,
interesting.
There you go.
So it's like, is there a banner in the arena there?
I bet there is.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it in like the
that's got to be
Seattle
weird.
or the Seattle
I bet it's
City Hall or something?
No, I bet they do have one in Oklahoma City, but I bet it's in Seattle's colors or something.
Yeah,
that's gotta
I'm
be
sure
right.
I'm sure it's just their banner and they moved it. Maybe not hanging in the rafters since it's not theirs. Maybe like a display thing.
It works a lot easier
or something.
It's like Oklahoma City is hanging other people's banners, and we're kind of not even hanging our own.
So that's interesting because it's a lot easier with a team like the Athletics, where you've been the Athletics in every city you've been in. So those Philadelphia championships are real easy to still kind of hang on to. But yeah, when you change your team name, it's like, ooh, it's wild.
I got a roster for you, Tony. You asked who was on that team. I'm not going to know who any of these guys are. So,
is it a true team?
Catcher. That's right. C for catcher. That'd be a center, correct? A center. Dennis Autry. Shooting guard Fred Brown, shooting guard Joe Hassett, shooting guard Dennis Johnson.
Okay, an old Dennis Johnson.
Shooting forward? Is that what SF is? Shooting
Small forward.
Jesus Christ! This is how little I watch basketball.
You know, like LeBron.
Oh my God, LeBron's not small. Anyway, John Johnson.
John Johnson.
Yeah, John Johnson. We got
His
another.
parents are mean.
We got another catcher, Tom Lagarde. Got another San Francisco, Jackie Robinson.
What?
Probably not the same guy. Power forward, no, that one. Lonnie Shelton, center, Jack Simka. No, Sikma.
Jack Sikma.
I think I've heard that name before. Power forward, Paul Silas. Shooting guard, Dick Snyder. Small forward, Wally Walker. And point guard,
Wally Walker?
Gus Williams.
Good.
There's some really mean
Lord,
parents, man.
that has got to be the least talented NBA champion.
Who did they beat?
Ever.
The Lakers?
The Washington Bullets.
Oh my Lord! What were the Lakers and Celtics and what was going on, man?
Right.
I guess this was in the Celtics downtime. But
This is 79, you said? So the next year,
80.
the NBA said, to hell with these great teams. We're going to have great players.
Huh.
And in 1980, they said, we're going to take the NBA MVP and we're going to put him on a team with Dr. J.
The year prior, 1978, it was the Seattle Supersonics and the Washington Bullets again. They went back.
Way!
They went back to back. The Bullets won the first one.
Wow.
How crazy.
That is wild, man.
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
That's got to be the wildest repeat matchup in Big Four sports history.
The Bullets won it in 7 the first time around, and this Supersonics did a gentleman's sweep in the second one. That's 4-1 for
and
people who don't know.
we need some stars. How about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird?
Where did the Bullets go? Did the Bullets move?
They became the Wizards.
Okay, so
Yeah, they
absolutely.
stayed
I'm sure
in
they.
Washington,
Yeah, then they absolutely. I'm sure they still claim there.
One of those Cleveland Guardians situations.
Yeah.
So
A team that I often forget is even a team, the Washington Wizards. I'm like, oh yeah,
Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, it's Michael Jordan. Oh man, I
that's
remember
the first thing I think of when I think of the Wizards.
That's so funny.
Bradley Beal still play there?
Nope.
Damn. Oh, who was it? Was it John Wall? He still play there?
No.
They claim they have a very long history. They go all the way back to the Wizards. They claim all the way back to 1961 as the Chicago Packers, then the Zephyrs of Chicago, the Baltimore Bullets, and then the Capitol Bullets, then the Washington Bullets, then the Washington Wizards.
Another weird fun fact. The last Major 4 professional sports team to go defunct, I believe, was the Cleveland Barons Hockey Club.
Okay.
And that team, I think, was absorbed.
I've never heard of this team ever. When was this?
At the late 70s?
Good God.
They were absorbed by the Minnesota North Stars, who moved to Dallas to become the Dallas
They
Stars.
sure did. You know, people in Minnesota, they're still so upset about that.
Dude, yeah. It's like they love the Wild, but they would trade it back in a heartbeat, dude.
100% they would.
Honestly, if they wanted to do a situation where it was like, because we're not the North Stars, we're just the Stars. And if they wanted to be like, give us our history back, I'd be okay with it, dude.
In 1978, that's when the Barons went kaput.
78, okay.
Did you just say you would be okay with giving them their name back?
No, just the history of like, like if you wanted to say the Stars started in 1993, like that's okay with me.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Except for Mike Modano does have history on the North Stars,
like
though, which is
like a few years.
Yeah, but
a couple years.
Well, on that topic, since I know we're going a little tangenty for this one, did y'all see the Alexander Ovechkin tied Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal scoring in one game less?
I saw somebody said something like, "Oh yeah, and only 1,300 more assists till he catches Gretzky." I was like, "Okay, that's perspective."
And then he does. I think he ended up getting the record-winning goal. I think the next night. He also, I believe, had an opportunity to get it on an empty netter and didn't take the shot because he did not want the record-scoring goal to be on an empty net. What a baller. He's 39, by the way. I remember how big of a deal it was when Alexander Ovechkin came over from Russia to come play here, and has been.
Well, he wasn't even the most highly touted player coming to the NHL at that point, right? It was Sidney Crosby, right?
It was. Yeah. And there was so much hype around both of those guys.
How old's Sidney Crosby now?
I think he's done.
Is he done?
I think in their primes he was considered the better player, but
he's 37.
His prime was a lot smaller because due to injuries and shit, he just couldn't stay on the ice.
He's on the Penguins still.
Yeah, currently on the Penguins roster. You bring up a topic that I don't think we've discussed on the podcast. I think we've just discussed outside, but with baseball having the opportunity to expand into some new cities, like straight up expansion teams, new franchises, are there places you guys would like to see them? Not just where it makes sense, but pie in the sky places.
We need more teams in the South than in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think
the Carolinas need a team.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Somewhere like mainly you would have them pop up in the Gulf states, in the Southeast, that whole area that's run by SEC football.
Yeah,
pretty much to get some baseball teams out there because a ton of talent is already coming out of there.
I'm a sucker for nostalgia, so like in my absolute perfect world, because we're going 2 teams, right? I'm assuming just to make it even.
Yeah.
In my perfect world, we would go back to Oakland and go back to Montreal.
Oh,
I understand we can't do 2 failed cities. I get it.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So I'm gonna split the difference. I'm gonna say go back to Oakland.
There's no way. That's
they're more likely to go back to Montreal.
I was about to say that's the longer shot.
So all right. Let's go to Montreal. And then the other one has to be what Tony said. It's either like North Carolina or Nashville. So
Tennessee.
And not Florida. They don't need another team. My
No.
goodness.
Tennessee.
This Orlando Dreamers thing is ridiculous.
You could take a team out of Florida and do both of those other cities.
Or if this Orlando Dreamers thing is so intense, it's just you guys just take the Rays. Just take the Rays.
Right.
Just Orlando Rays.
Yeah. Tennessee is one that I definitely see. That's one I think for sure. I like your Carolinas one.
I saw something like
Louisiana would be interesting.
Yeah, because what they just have the NFL. Oh no, they got the NBA as well.
Yeah. The terrible part is, I mean, you don't obviously want to put another stadium in harm's way of a hurricane, which the other two are at all times. So, I mean, that kind of sucks. And you aren't going to put it anywhere in northern Louisiana.
If you go North Carolina, is that far enough north that you don't have to build a straight domed stadium where you could get away with an outdoor stadium? Because I would think like with the hurricane situation, an outdoor stadium is much more resilient to the because your roof, you don't got to worry about that. And even a retractable roof, I would assume, could sustain some damage in a hurricane. I'm
curious how the engineering works with like a half and half, how Seattle has, where it's like an open air stadium, but it has a retractable roof.
That's such a cool thing to do.
Kind of like what they did in Miami with.
Who else could pull that off though? Because like it feels like something uniquely Seattle, where it's like the climate is so consistent.
Well, L.A. the Rams, they have their new stadium that's open air. I don't know about their roof. I think their roof opens, but theirs is an open air stadium. SoFi's open air.
Really?
Yeah, there's no air conditioning there because remember it was like the first weekend they played, it was hotter than hell.
I did not know that.
And everyone was complaining. It was like, y'all need to put air conditioning in it.
By far the most expensive stadium ever built in the world.
Yeah, it's open air.
And don't have AC.
Football's a fall and winter sport, they said.
Okay.
Welcome to the Ranger Zone. We are three criminally this time, obsessed Rangers fans, semi-qualified to dish out our takes like the hot cakes that they are. This says Hot Pockets.
I don't know if you copy and pasted. I did that last episode.
All the way from the fans to the Hot Pockety office inside the sleeve. 2 minutes, 22 seconds, all of it. I am Robbie Belusic.
1:47. I am Chris Green.
I am Tony Cook. Hot Pockets suck.
Oh my god.
I haven't had a Hot Pocket in over a decade.
Ham and
inedible.
cheese, baby.
Literally can't get it down.
Maybe it's 212. That's what I used to do. I don't remember. Anyway.
Horrible.
We do have a fantastic episode for you guys. I know you were worried that it was going to suck, but it's not, because this one is one that at the beginning, the genesis of the ideas twinkling around in my brain when I wanted to start this podcast with these two guys. This episode was certainly a pillar of that idea, and it's one that we're going to get to do every single year. It is the food episode. Oh, one of my favorite things about going to the ballpark is the food. So we are going to talk about all of the new food that we have. We have even tried some, as we mentioned. If you guys heard the last episode and saw our social media, we were at the game last Sunday, so we did get to try some of that food. We're also going to get into some of the old food, some of the old boomstick stuff. It's going to be great. So
the best part about ballpark food, back during Thanksgiving, we played Scarf or Barf. There's no such thing as barf with ballpark food. It's just scarf or scarf more.
Yeah.
Even if you do barf, it's like old Billy Bob. It's a puking rally.
But before we do that, how about a little bit of news? Jolly old Josh Jungle Cat Young buys the team a bunch of presents for opening day.
What a guy.
If y'all saw on social media, it was everywhere. He bought everyone a ton of gifts. There was like a Yeti cooler. There was some Yeti tumblers, one of those smokeless fire pits, and some Bose headphones. They had some earbuds and other just, guy stuff in there. It was really nice. He had said he wanted today to feel like Christmas Day. I saw a tweet Abby Jones had said. I was like, how cool is that? Just being a little Santa Claus.
So while even pre-arbitration baseball players are still paid handsomely, he's still a pre-arbitration baseball player, and he dropped a pretty penny on this.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's an A-plus teammate right there. That's
Yeah.
the kind of guy you want on your team.
Yeah, it's not like your first round pick in football doing it.
Yeah.
Who's got a signing bonus and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And I've even heard him before and other journalists say, especially this year in this offseason, how much he's wanted to become a leader and the leader in the clubhouse. Obviously, Marcus
So
Semien
okay
is
with
not going to
that.
be here
Right.
for a long time. Absolutely, dude. I would love for you to
Corey
take
Seager
up
doesn't
that
talk.
mantle. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that's really cool for him.
Yes.
Next up here, if you have been to any ball games this season at home, our big old white 2023 World Series banner is no longer. They have taken it down.
She gone.
Yep, I'm getting justified smirks from across the room here. Michael Young was asked why, or his response, his thoughts on why the banner is gone, and he gave some BS PR response that was, I didn't even bother quoting it for you because it's basically, well, it happened 2 years ago and we have to look in the past, and the banner that's up there now, and he's talking about the plastic or metal signs that we have that announce or
Our Western Division champs, our pennants.
all of our different divisional and conference accolades.
It's the same size, and it's just a different color.
It's a different color. It's white where all the other ones are red and blue. And what a dumb answer. That was the stupidest answer. You know what? I'm sure he personally thinks otherwise, but because he's a part of the Rangers organization, I'm sure his hands were tied and he had to get into corporate speak and say that I wasn't not here for it.
I would like some kind of a happy medium where I think that the banner that we did have was a little bit big in the sense that, if you were to win a second one, it's like, okay, that's two big ass flags out there in right field now. But
you could just do
the one now it is small, and it doesn't really differentiate itself other than being white while the others are red and blue.
Yeah.
That it's the World Series champion. So like if there was something that maybe hung from those rafters,
yes,
that would be a little bit better.
So from where we were sitting behind home plate, I could get a really, really good view of this area.
Yes.
And I had enough time in between innings to give it a little thought about what I would do here.
Okay.
So there's plenty of railing there where you could differentiate between your division titles, your pennants, and your World Series would end up somewhere very close to center field.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that at the end of that rail, you could have something at least twice as big as the rest. I think you could have, the division titles can be the same size as they are now. The pennants should be, 25% bigger than that. And then by the end of it, the World Series one is twice as big as the division title ones in the beginning.
Okay.
And I want it to be, if you want it to stay white like it is now, that's fine.
I like the color choice was a good choice.
I would
like
I would like the entire lettering to be gold.
gold. I need some gold. You mentioned that when we were at the game. I need some gold in it.
I would settle for the gold trim that was on the commemorative World Series jerseys.
Yeah, that would look nice.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'd be cool with that too.
Our World Series jerseys looked better than the Dodgers. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
It's too much gold in the Dodgers.
Yeah, I agree. I even think just the size of your regular banner, the ones that we have hanging up in the AAC for the Mavs and the Stars.
Yeah,
that's a perfect size banner. And if you did not see the other one in person last year when we had it up all year, it was very massive. It was very massive. They could have also it would have looked smaller if they had put more stuff on it too.
Yeah, it was a lot of empty space.
It was a lot of negative space. It was just the jersey the like the World Series logo in the middle with our name. A few last notes here. We set a record. The Texas Rangers set a record. First time in franchise history. We back-to-back 1-0 wins. That was on April the 1st and April the 2nd against the Rangers. One of those games was the Nathan Uvalde complete game, which was a fantastic help for the bullpen.
Maddox.
Yeah.
99 pitches.
Yep, the first Maddox of the year. That is when you do a complete game. You pitch a complete game in under 100 pitches.
I think this was the first Rangers Maddox since Colby Lewis's near-perfect game.
I also believe I saw a stat that said the last 2 Maddoxes were thrown by pitchers who had
Mike Maddox
as their pitching coach. Oh, man. And then lastly here, I did want to mention something I had not heard of. I didn't know if this was new this year or had done before, but we get free Chick-fil-A if the Rangers hit a home run off the foul pole. So
That's clever.
so anytime you're at the game,
Eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken. Root for that home run to doink right off of the foul pole.
I will
How
say,
many of those are we getting a year?
right?
A few, for sure. At least one.
I've sat in a seat that was behind the foul pole and could not see home plate because of the eat more chicken on the foul pole. So a little salty about that one, Chick-fil-A.
You're like Kramer from Seinfeld. You don't want this chicken. It's bad chicken, man. You know what I'm talking about? When their sign was like the red neon was like glowing through his apartment.
Oh, yes.
Well, that wraps up all of the breaking news for now. Join us for more and weather tonight at 8 o'clock. Before we go, let's toss it on over to Chris at the sports desk. How's it going over there, Chris?
The emotion you're feeling towards the recap?
Let's toss it on over to you, Tony. How you feeling, Tony?
I'm feeling sexy.
Why is that?
Because it's Rangers recap time.
Nice. Leaving that whole exchange in there. What are we at here?
It's like failing the assignment.
What are we at here?
We're at 15 minutes.
Okay, cool. You're on it, Tone.
I think that's the first thing I've said in like 8 minutes. Like I just like went nonverbal there for a little bit. Sorry.
You're good, buddy.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a news segment we are bringing to you guys. I don't know how it's going to go. We're going to work out kinks as it goes along. We don't want this podcast to turn into just a recap podcast every week that we're, recalling games from last week, or if we miss a week, 2 weeks ago. So, we'll try to keep these short and sweet. We're not going to let this come up, we're not going to let this monopolize the entire episode every single week. So we can still talk to you about just some other cool things that are happening around baseball with the Rangers, like today. Our food episode, is once we actually get into it, is all going to be about food.
And this one might be a little bit longer than they normally would be because we're doing almost 2 weeks worth of games.
That's true. But
we got bullet points.
So we will try to get through it somewhat quickly here. Some opening day notes, guys. If you did not watch or just whatever, for your own listening and information, you can store it back in whatever compartment of your brain. Nathan Eovaldi's curveball was 0-in on. It was great. He struck out 9. 6 of them were on the curve. 1 on the fastball and 2 on the splitter.
Usually his last pitch to come around too. Yeah. So if it's on to start the season, we're in for a treat.
Yeah. More beautifully that day, Devers accounted for 33% of those strikeouts. He struck out 3 times.
Oof.
All of them on the curveball.
I think he struck out 4 times the next day too.
Devers has started very poorly over the first 19 games. It was very bad.
I play third.
Yeah.
He needs a glove to use his bat. I don't know.
Yeah, it is strange. Another note on Eovaldi's strikeouts, it was a record-breaking strikeout performance for him, those 9 strikeouts. It was also tied the Rangers record for opening day. He had, for opening day.
Oh, I was going to say,
sorry.
That's all he's got. I'm sure he's got 10 before.
No. Just okay. For opening day, yeah. His record for opening day, I think, previously was 7. Yes.
I don't know if is this his 5th opening day start total, I think? Which is a lot for that man. Like, I mean, he's the man. But
and they have all gone
3 different teams.
And they've all gone incredibly well. Every single one of them has gone really well. My biggest thing about opening day was that the new guys were making all of the impact. They were doing it first, and they were doing it big. The very first pitch, Jake Burger, who we were worried about defensively, Burger, he flashed the leather. Oh, it was worthy of going to jail. This flash was so good. On the very first pitch, it was smashed. It was a liner from Jarren Duran, 102.6 off the bat. And Berger had to move to get it.
That's one of those shake your hands afterwards.
Yeah, man. Oof. And he did. He was great. And just to note, I think we've got more. He's been doing so good defensively, and I love him at first base. I love the man. Kevin Mother effing Pillar over here gets the guy who I fought so hard for in spring training and wanted to be on the team and in the opening day roster, got it done for us first. He got the first Rangers RBI of the season.
Just like we all drew it up all off season.
Yeah. His single scored Berger from second, who got there after walking and then moving over on Josh Young's single before Pilar's RBI single. And then later, Pilar gets, what is that? Another base hit, a broken bat hit, and he later scored on Higashioka's near miss home run that ended up being a double off the wall, which I nearly called. Nearly called the Higgy home run. Later on in the game, Berger was still making amazing plays at first. Pilar had a really good sliding on the track catch, which is par for him. He's that elite defender. The play of the game was a defensive play, and this one will absolutely go in the show notes. Go ahead and click that link there, and that is Pookie sprinting, spinning off balance, crossbody web gem, snag, and throw to get the batter out. It was just a beautiful. It was a piece of art.
That reminds me so much of Elvis Andrus, prime Elvis Andrus.
Oh.
Just way to start the year there.
And kudos to Berger on the snag. Full stretch.
Yeah.
Snags it off balance.
Big boy's nimble.
Yeah, that was good.
Man, you're not an everyday defensive player, and you jump in there and do a play like that.
On to just the opening series overall. Berger, I mentioned, flashing the glove. This guy could have a possible gold glove the way that he's doing it right now. After Bombi got it going in Game 3, there no strikes.
That's huge.
No strikeouts for
huge.
Bombi the entire series, Game 1 through 4. He was hitless in the first game and in the second game. Did draw a walk in the second game. One was 7 pitches, and then the other was 8 pitches. The 2 walks actually that he got in the second game. He finished the series 4 for 12. That is excellent. 2 walks,
Just
4 RBIs, and 2 runs. Collected his first 2 home runs of the season.
You know, I wouldn't say Bombi was patient in that opening series. He was
got more patient, I feel, as it went along.
He was seeing the ball well enough that he was making contact well enough to get deeper into counts. And when he got deeper into these counts, somebody always hung him a curveball, and he put it into the freaking seats.
Yeah,
you know,
he was able to wait his pitch out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That takes us over to the Sunday game, which we went to.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Nothing better than walking into the ballpark and getting blasted in the face with the smell of Texas barbecue and grilled hot dogs and onions and golden chick and Whataburger.
It's almost entirely onions.
It's the best. It's
you know
the
what
best.
I mean? Grilled onions is just like the best smell.
So don't get me wrong, the old ballpark also smelled like heaven, but something about having that roof keeping the stank in.
Lock it
Oh,
in.
it's so good.
Lock it in.
Marinating.
Really
Yes.
seals the flavor.
All right, Sunday day game. We were there in attendance. So we got DeGoat on the mound. Is that what we call it, DeGoat?
Yeah,
we cool with that
DeGoat.
one?
I'm fine with that.
I'm cool with
DeGoat. I
DeGoat.
like it. DeGoat. All right. Makes his first start of the year with the whole village in attendance. 5 innings, 2 hits, 6 Ks, and 2 very out of character walks for our guy.
Yeah, and this guy does not walk a lot of guys.
Didn't have his best stuff on the mound and seemed to recognize that fairly early. Despite this, Boston didn't make much solid contact as DeGrom ballooned his pitch count a little bit to find the best pitch to record his outs. The ground ball was very effective, more effective than normal for Jacob, and getting the Sox hitters to chase the weak contact was key all night on the mound. Our boy dug into the well and manufactured a few outs to escape the 5th, and we knew it in the stands that was going to be it for the Wyling veteran.
Yeah, when they played Simple Man when he walked off the mound, I was like, oh, that's probably it.
And how many pitches was that? 70? I think it was right at 70, I think.
I think you're right, or 75 even.
I want to say it was like 72, something like that. Yeah, I'm all right with that for opening day.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We were all like, yeah, this is I wouldn't say business as usual for a guy his age, but
with the recent Tommy John, you're not pushing anything with him right now, and the amount of money you're paying him.
We've been looking at this guy with a little bit of rose-tinted glasses, I think. I looked up his stats. This guy hasn't pitched over 100 innings in like 5 years or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a little while.
Right, okay. That's it for DeGrom. Oh, yeah. Is Graham Belusic the key to Rangers' home game victories? The boy is a good luck charm.
Yeah.
What's his record right now?
He has only been to one game and lost.
How many wins? Like 8, 9, 10?
More than 12.
Jeez.
Less than 16.
My goodness.
The boy's golden. We got to get it going.
It's really
Gotta
strange.
get you some season tickets. Where's the
PR
team?
It is really strange, man. One of the greatest reasons to be at the ballpark is the ballpark food.
I mean, that's reason 1B behind 1A, which is the baseball game itself. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Something either magically happens to the quality of the food or tragically happens to the quality of our judgment when we cross the threshold of the stadium gates. It's probably a combination of both. But something as simple as nachos and cheese, man, just hits different when you're at the old ball game.
So good.
The Texas Rangers are credited with bringing the invention of ballpark nachos to the world, and I found a wonderful excerpt from the Smithsonian website. That's how official this is. The Rangers invented... Nope, not this part. I just told you that. Here's the excerpt. If Ignacio Nacho Anaya is the progenitor of nachos speciales, then how did it happen that Frank Liberto came to be known as the father of nachos? Well, nachos were already popular at restaurants in Texas by the time Liberto's recipe hit the scene, but he is famous in the industry for bringing his version of the dish to the concession stand in 1976 at a Texas Rangers baseball game in Arlington, Texas. What he did that nobody else had done before was create the pumpable consistency of the orange gooey goodness that we see today, and what the company calls cheese sauce. That is in quotes.
Rico's.
Yeah. According to the Food and Drug Administration standards, the sauce is technically not cheese, but that has not stopped fans from pumping it by the gallons since. Liberto's recipe was top secret, and so secret that in 1983, a 29-year-old man was arrested for trying to buy the trade secrets into Liberto's formula. Do you guys, before we start going through the different years here, because I went back 10 whole years to note some of the best food that we have had. We are not going to talk about all of these. This is not going to end up being a 2-hour episode. If it does, I'd have to split it in half. But do y'all have your traditional ballpark food? Give me your top 3.
Number 3, peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
I feel like this should be the same 3.
I don't know, because I think our 2 and 1 may be switched. Number 2, the hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, this is the ballpark nacho, man. I have to have it every time I go.
You are your sister's brother.
Our father raised us right. I have to have the ballpark nachos every time.
Nice.
It is like, it's one of those, like, you get one choice and you can just have one thing when you go there.
Yeah.
Ballpark nachos. Toneworth?
I'd switch the nachos with some popcorn.
Oh.
Really?
Peanuts, popcorn, and hot dogs.
Okay,
So
okay.
peanuts 3, popcorn 2, hot dogs 1.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And we're just talking, like, butter and popcorn or some kind of kettle corn?
It can be a buttered popcorn, can be a kettle corn, can be peanuts and Cracker Jacks, like the song.
Like caramel corn.
Okay.
In there. Yeah, I like that. My number 3 is the hot dog.
Okay.
Love the hot dog. My number 2 is cheese fries. My God.
At the helmet?
Yeah, helmet,
Yeah.
no helmet, doesn't matter to me. I love cheese fries. That's one that I gravitated toward very young. And then my number 1 is peanuts. I will go through so many bags of peanuts. I nabbed your bag of peanuts. You're trying to get rid of. You're trying to just give the stadium.
I didn't even notice that I left
half
those there.
a bag of peanuts.
Yeah, dude, I didn't get through them all.
They went home with me, and then I ate them later that night.
Dude, it's the perfect sit there and like do something with your hands while you're watching the game thing. It's just unshell these peanuts and go to town.
Yeah.
I ate a warm pretzel at the game on Sunday, and I was like,
ooh, that was
Jordan
a good choice.
and I have done that before. Pretzel's wonderful.
Because it's still soft and the salt, it just hits, man.
And I just, every now and then, I dab a little bit of yellow mustard.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you got any dippings, any cheese or mustard. So this year, the ballpark will go through 2025 first. We'll go through all of the items in this one because it's this year and it's important. So there is a new food court that's called Arlington Alley. There is a laborious list of beers in this area as well as the restaurant. There's some vegan food there as well as classic ballpark food and then the rotating items from the local restaurants.
I feel like vegans shouldn't be allowed to go to the ball games.
Whoa.
Dang.
You better calm down because the Texas Rangers have the #1 rated vegan
No
options
way.
of everyone in the ballpark. I saw that.
That's
It was
crazy.
like 2018, I think, when I saw that we were voted #1. But we always have a ton of vegan options. All right, so the first item that we're going to talk about here, just as we're going through the list for 2025, the Boomstick Burrito.
That seemed to be one of the most appetizing things on the list.
Yeah. Okay, so this burrito, it's our new 24-inch item. Taco meat, rice, beans, pico, lettuce, sour cream, topped with jalapenos. And the tortilla is specially made for the ballpark. It's 26 inches in diameter.
It's gigantic.
It is huge.
It is hard to f that up.
That seems something like you just, if you eat it by yourself, you're a sicko. You got to share it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a sicko. No, no, that's impossible. There's no way.
The Rangers went a little lobster crazy this year.
They
3
sure
new
did.
lobster items. The first one, the lobster roll, could come warm with butter or cold with mayo. Tony had one.
Tell us all about it.
Tell the people.
This thing was hot garbage.
Oh.
This thing was terrible, guys.
Swing and a miss?
It was horrible. It was like 3 inches of something that seemed like it just came out of a can that they just opened. It was. I got the warm one, and it was like room temperature at best. Like, and you just had to like shower the thing in Old Bay to get it down. It was for $14. It was not. I would not recommend the lobster roll.
The next lobster item is the lobster mac, which I had. That is cavatappi mac and cheese with 3 cheese sauce under a scoop of lobster and panko breadcrumbs. Mine was marginally better than Tony's. The mac and cheese really saved this thing. The 3 cheese sauce that they had in there tasted delicious. And there was a ton of freaking mac and cheese.
Lindsay got like hers had
brisket
and
on
brisket.
It. Yes, you can have one with brisket on it.
With the brisket, I'm sorry, it
I
slapped.
bet the brisket
it
was good.
Great. It was a good combo. Like you get the lobster with the brisket with the mac all in one forkful.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, I was very impressed. Now I don't know how much she spends on it, but it was tasty.
I had the same quality issues as Tony with the warmness of the lobster and just the quality of the lobster, which I knew it was not going to be like great stuff.
Ballpark lobster.
Yeah, which I mean, it was great when Jordan and I went to Seattle and San Francisco, where they probably caught it that day because the ocean is.
They got this out the tank at Walmart.
Yeah. Oh, man. The third lobster item is nachos. It's that same lobster on top of tortilla chips with white cheddar sauce and shredded Gruyere cheese.
This next thing was another one of the ones that caught my eye.
The Big Papa potato. This is from Hurtado. This is a brisket stuffed baked potato with cheddar cheese and barbecue sauce. This is real similar to the Ranger Tater.
Yeah, I remember
which
that.
They
still have it?
They have made it ever since we've had the ballpark. I have not checked. It's one of my favorite things to get. So I don't know if they're discontinuing that and just letting Hurtado take over this one. But yeah, Hurtado is also going to do smoked wings. It's exactly what it sounds like, smoked wings.
Okay, so I saw the Rangers social media post about the food this year, right?
Yes.
And to be completely honest, I was a little underwhelmed. There's been years in the past where it's all jumped out at me, and I was like, that looks good. That looks good. Oh my gosh, I got to have all of these things. This wasn't one of those years.
I agree.
And
wholeheartedly.
To illustrate that point is when I looked at the post and I saw the smoked wings, which was like the last thing on there. I was like, that actually looks kind of good.
No.
And I was like, okay, wait, the smoked wings look like one of the best things on the list. We didn't have the best year.
Yeah.
But I do kind of want to try those smoked wings. They did look good.
They debuted this year 2 Thai dishes. One of them is Crazy Drunken Noodles. These are stir-fried flat rice noodles with a Thai spicy chili sauce, egg, onion, carrot, bell pepper, tomato, basil, and with or without chicken.
Sounds great. I just don't know if I want noodles at the ballpark.
At the ballpark.
Yeah.
Soup is a choice at the ballpark.
Yeah. But it's delicious, though.
Yeah, I bet. Golden Pouches is the next Thai item. This is fried wontons stuffed with cream cheese, onion, and imitation crab with sweet chili sauce.
That sounds delicious.
Like a crab rangoon, I imagine.
Yeah. But, I mean, if I'm paying a certain amount of dollars, I don't know if I want that to be imitation crab.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Although imitation crab is real good when you go to the Chinese buffet, man. I'll be honest. It's so tasty.
This next one was one that I thought looked good. I was interested in, and this is a hit or miss item, kind of depending on where you go on whose definition of gumbo you're using. But this is gumbo nachos, chicken and sausage gumbo, atop tortilla chips with queso blanco. Lastly, here. Bacon on a stick.
Bacon on a stick.
Somebody highlighted this one.
Highlighted it.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah. This is an item that they have done before at least once, I think twice. I know at the old ballpark, middle ballpark, they had this, brought it back. I think it's a thicker cut bacon. So it's just thick cut bacon on a stick, glazed with Dr. Pepper barbecue sauce.
I feel like if I eat one of these, I'm going to want like 100 though.
Yeah.
I don't think they were super expensive when I saw.
Okay.
I don't remember. I did not put any prices on here because we were going to bog down in price. I just wanted to talk about taste. So I'll take you to last year, 2024. This was the first year of Whataburger come to the park, which I have not had in the ballpark yet. I still have not had the Whataburger.
Why would
no need?
It's like the same with Golden Chick. Like I love both those places. They're good places. I don't want to go to the ballpark and pay a premium for that food.
Very true.
It's like Chick-fil-A at the Atlanta stadiums. Like, why? You're not even going to be open for Falcons games.
Yeah. Last year, I forgot I did want to highlight this one. And I hope they're still making this one because some of the Boomstick items will carry over, but they did the Boomstick Burger last year. Sorry. This was the Boomstick Triple Play. It was an 8-inch double patty burger, a chili cheese dog.
From the Texas Chili Company.
And loaded Tostitos nachos.
Dang, dude.
All in the same like little basket carrier thing. I thought that
so like a sampler, but everything is full size.
Yeah. I thought that sounded really, really good.
I like that, yeah.
The other one I had highlighted on here was one that I did get to eat last year, which was the meatball garlic knot sliders. Underrated, man. An underrated item. I think it was only in one spot, but I had it the game that we went to with your dad.
What exactly is that? Is the meatball inside the garlic knot, or is it two separate garlic knots and meatballs?
It was two separate garlic knots and meatballs.
Because it sounds delicious either way.
Yeah. So it's a tower of Italian-style meatballs served on garlic knot bread topped with marinara sauce. So the garlic knots, it's hard to eat as a sandwich. So the garlic knot is the meatball is in between the two garlic knots on a skewer type thing. It was very good. It was nice and hot. The sauce was good. The cheese was cheesy. It was happening. I would have bought it again. I don't know, if I recall, the price was not bad. And it was like 3 little sliders. So like 3 meatballs and what would be like 6 garlic knots.
Brisket croissant?
Yes, we will take you back to 2023 now, the brisket croissant. This review comes from my beautiful wife. But first, the brisket croissant. It is generous pieces of house-smoked Nolan Ryan beef brisket that are hand-rolled between layers of buttery croissant dough and baked until golden brown, topped with a Sweet Baby Ray's donut-style glaze.
And I'm spent.
Oh my god, dude.
Jordan said, could not say 10 out of 10 fast enough. She said, hopes they keep it around forever and wishes it was sold at our closest gas station so she could get it to and from work.
Dang, that good, dude.
They do still have this item at the ballpark. If you have not had it, I highly recommend it.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. I did want to bring up the pizza dog. This is a Texas Chili Company all Angus beef hot dog topped with marinara, mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni, and then baked to bubbly golden perfection.
Oh, so this is not like a pizza slice as a bun. This is... Oh, this sounds good.
Jordan, this review is from Jordan. 9 out of 10, loved it, which she noted was surprising because of the hot dog. She does not like hot dogs.
Right.
She said ways you could make it better is by stuffing the hot dog with a mozzarella cheese stick.
Ooh.
Instead of having it melted on top, and then could change the bun to garlic Texas toast topped with more mozzarella.
They should hire my sister.
Yeah. This was our new ballpark year, 2020. Brisket egg rolls. This is by far the best thing that the ballpark has and sells, and they continue to sell it. I am willing to stake my entire food tasting reputation on these items alone. They are incredibly good, and the value is probably the most valuable item that you get for your buck food-wise, because it's also served on a humongous bed of fries, and it's 2 egg rolls. They're freaking enormous. They're
Do you remember
the size,
roughly how much it cost?
It's like $13.
Oh, that's not bad.
They were started because of a Twitter competition that the Rangers held, and it beat out, I'll tell you the other 2 garbage items. Steak finger relleno, so it's chili relleno but with a steak finger. Pass. Yeah. Rangers bomb, which is smoky chopped brisket mixed with cream cheese, jack cheese, and jalapenos, so it's all of that inside of a battered ball. Shoot. Phone in. Pass. These freaking brisket egg rolls, damn it, guys. My God, they're so good. I would have got them last time if I was not going to try new
the lobster.
Food.
Yeah.
But oh my God.
I'm going to put that on my list now.
Yes, get them.
I'm going to get you a review.
I'm even more mad that I had the lobster roll now. I want the egg rolls.
And you got to get them fast because they do sell out
of them. Okay.
They
so it's
do
not like
sell out of them.
Limited quantities.
Yes. To 2019. We're in the before times now.
I wanted to shout out that 7th inning cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Deep fried cinnamon roll combined with a funnel cake topped with chocolate or raspberry drizzle. Keep it
delicious.
Simple. That sounds delicious.
The dilly dog.
Yes, the dilly dog.
I remember the dilly dog.
The final review from my lovely wife, Jordan. She ate this one. Doesn't like hot dogs, remember? So she maybe took one bite of it with the actual wiener. So she just ate the pickle. She said it was weird eating a warm pickle, except for my warm pickle. She doesn't like that one. She gave it a 6.75 out of 10. That's
very specific, Jordan.
Yeah. 6.75 out of 10 on the dilly dog. 2016, or second to last year.
Yes, I remember.
Chris was going crazy over here.
The chicken and donuts. This is a staple.
I loved these.
It was so freaking good.
They were sold out
at the center field, right?
Yes, sir. The center field stand. Those were. I really, really enjoyed these, and they weren't super expensive. I think it was like $12, and you got like
it's simple, but it was delicious.
Yeah, you got like 4 donuts and 4 big old chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
A
giant popcorn chicken.
Yes, yeah. And they were drizzled with sweet and spicy buffalo honey. They were delicious. I enjoyed them, and I like the chicken and waffle and chicken and donut that's sweet and savory. That's very good.
Ass.
The last year, well, since we went 10 years back, was 2015, the year of batter and bacon for the Rangers. They had so much bacon and battered stuff.
That was like right in the height of the bacon craze in America too, when just everything had bacon.
Candied bacon, candy, bacon sunflower seeds, chicken fried bacon on a stick, BLT on a bun, bacon quesadilla, bacon and corn saute, bacon mac and cheese, bacon beer.
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Mixing bacon, then I put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
The last little bit of things we wanted to bring you guys, food related, was we're not the only ones out here doing crazy stuff with the food. We got other teams doing their versions of fun and wacky ballpark fare. Firstly, the Yankees have a tiramisu helmet. It's made with espresso mascarpone creme and ladyfinger cookies, cocoa powder inside of a little mini New York Yankees helmet. This thing looks so good.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guarantee you this makes its way through the league. This is one of those things that I think is not going to just stay at the Yankee Stadium. That just sounds too delicious, and it looks too delicious.
It really does. Bringing up our American League West friends, the Mariners, they've got a What's Up corn dog. It's a honey battered corn dog with a spicy crunch served with nacho cheese. The color of this thing is green. It says Mariners Blue, but it's green. This is a green hot corn dog. They also have a souvenir cup in the shape of and nearly the size of a trident. It looks really cool.
I don't know if they invented this thing, but they were the first major league team to do hot dogs from heaven.
Huh.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole like...
When they're dropping hot dogs from parachutes.
They have little parachutes and they play... I don't know what song they play in the background, but I want that to happen at the Globe. That just seems like a good time.
The Diamondbacks have something that looks really cool. Filthy Mac fries. It's Cajun spiced fries, white cheddar mac, cheddar pork. Wait, I've got cheddar in here twice. That's not right. It's a white cheddar mac, just regular pork, not cheddar pork. I don't know what that is. Pork belly bacon.
You don't know what cheddar pork is?
Cola barbecue and slaw, crispy onions, scallions. The Orioles bringing up a warehouse burger. This was at the All-Star game. During part of All-Star week when you could go around and do stuff, one of the concessions they had was different foods from around different ballparks. So they were trying this out around then. I remember the guy telling me, they were like, they're not doing this now, but they're going to do it next year. And I had one. It was great. 2 beef patties topped with queso fundido, fried onions, Grillo's pico de gallo, and that is important that it's Grillo's because they make some damn good pico de gallo and pickles and other stuff. Also covered with whistle sauce on a pretzel bun. Second to lastly here, the Disastros. They've got a chicken and waffle sandwich. I'm a sucker for chicken and waffles. I just love them. This, of course, is just fried chicken breast topped with pepper jack cheese, a bacon onion jam, honey chipotle aioli between 2 Belgian waffles.
You know how they say your sense of smell can affect your sense of taste?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, I feel like I just couldn't enjoy it in the stadium because while I was eating this chicken and waffles, I would just be trounced with the smell of ass from the city of Houston. So I don't know if I could enjoy that.
And then lastly here, the Rockies. They came out with 2 of probably the most underwhelming things I've ever seen. They have a Wazy burger. It's a bacon cheeseburger with boom boom sauce made in the ballpark.
Hey, man, don't. No.
That's it.
Hey,
you can't announce that as some new innovative food you're bringing.
Is boom
We
boom?
just talked about how the sauce can make a whole meal.
What is boom boom
This
sauce?
boom boom sauce could be the real boom boom deal.
Sweet and
boom,
spicy
boom, everybody say
mayonnaise-based sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the spicy aioli kind of crap.
Pretty much.
Not crap, but
It was just
there's
really
spicy aioli on half this shit. Nobody else called it boom boom sauce.
It's just really strange that they were like new and innovative food. And they led off with
A bacon
cheeseburger. I was like, you guys don't already have
but
this
it's
bacon
called
cheeseburger?
boom boom sauce.
The next one they have is dessert nachos.
I've had dessert nachos in general before. Oh, so good.
The
Great
photograph
idea.
of this looks like they're trash. Yeah, exactly. The face that Tony's making trash. These look like they're going to be a fucking disaster. So they're fried flour.
Oh, that looks
tortillas.
terrible, dude.
Yeah, in cinnamon sugar.
I could make better dessert nachos than that.
Fresh berries, which are not in the photograph, topped with powdered sugar and caramel drizzle, served with a side of whipped cream. This looks bad. And the rest of the stuff looks very depressing as well. In the land where everyone has perpetual munchies, how did they drop the ball so far this year?
These assholes will eat anything.
Yeah, pretty much. It's got to be the mentality. Or maybe it's just that they're all so freaking high trying to come up with ideas.
Bro, what if you put, like, bacon on a cheeseburger? Ridiculous.
Thank you, dear listener, for playing along on another episode of The Rangers Home. It always means a great deal that you take the time to spend the time with us, the 3 birth control pills you forgot to take, so now this month's been a bit of a crapshoot for you. As always, you can keep up with us trying to keep up with social media on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube at The Ranger Zone Pod. That is at Ranger Zone Pod. We are worth a follow for the nonsense alone, and of course, listen to us just about anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you again. This has been the Ranger Zone, and I have been Robbie Belusic.
I have been Chris Green.
I should have been Plan B.
Oh my God.
I'm Tony Cook.
And that is the way the baseball go.